Mast cells are a normal part of our immune system. They are related to our white blood cells and our red blood cells. And after they're born, they move to the areas we call of interface between ourselves and the outside world. So they line our respiratory tract, our entire gastrointestinal tract. They're in any of our mucous membranes. They actually have a high affinity for what's called the perivascular system. So they hang out around the blood vessels. They like our nerves. There are some in the brain, in the meninges. And their job is to constantly survey for foreign invaders. So they're very old. They've been around for 500 million years. They're in humans and vertebrates, as well as many of the invertebrate species. And they have been around a lot longer than the rest of our immune systems. And so they're like the first line of defense for our bodies when we get an infection, when we get exposed to a toxin. They have a response that happens very, very quickly, where they can release these different packages of information called mediators. And the release is often inflammatory or sometimes allergic in nature. They are filled with hundreds, if not thousands, of different mediators. And the packages of mediators that get released vary from person to person and from organ to organ system and from different tissues. And this is their normal job. That's what they're supposed to do. What happens in some lucky people who have a genetic susceptibility or whose mast cells decide to become a little bit rogue is they get what's called mast cell activation syndrome. And when that happens, the mast cells now are starting to perceive things that are not necessarily foreign invaders, like our food, like fragrance, like light or sound or vibration. These things can be perceived as foreign and dangerous. And then the mast cells start to release their inflammatory mediators, and we get allergic inflammatory responses in different systems in the body. So the definition of mast cell activation syndrome is actually a clinical definition of multi-system, multi-symptom, inflammatory, allergic, and sometimes growth-related conditions.